Hello my very wonderful people. Now if you're new to this channel and you just see my face for the first time, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video out of the thousands of videos you saw to click on. And if you're a returning subscriber, you guys are my real MVP. Thank you so much for your continuous love and support, guys. Now to dive right into what I have for you today, as you can see from the title, this is just supposed to be like a warning video for anyone trying to relocate to the UK, anyone in the UK relocation journey or the UK relocation process. And aside from traveling to the UK, this can also cover for anyone going to any other part of the world. You know, it could be Australia, it could be New Zealand. I think these are just general advices. I tagged the UK warning because I focus more on the UK, okay? But you can use these tips if you're relocating anywhere. It has become a thug of war, you know, trying to relocate, because it's become very difficult, it's become very competitive, and they are going for people with much more experiences. But there are still people that do not have experiences that are getting these jobs, okay? And you wonder, what are they doing right? But at the same time, I feel like there are things that we take for granted. There are things that we do not put into consideration when we're making these applications, and we end up, you know, losing opportunities. And you know, some people will get job interviews finally after making thousands of applications, and at the end of the day they don't get called, they don't get shortlisted, they don't get that offer letter, you know, and they start wondering, what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? Was it my interview or what? And then some people go over to apply for visa, and we know that tier 2 visas are hardly denied, but there are still people that get denied for one reason or the other. And then you ask, what are you doing wrong? So I decided to just come here and share 3 different warning tips that I feel like I should share to people, just so you guys know what is going on, you guys know what's happening, okay? So that we don't get to lose out on these opportunities. There are so many things that I can share, but as they come I would let you guys know. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be talking about 3 things and 3 warnings that I feel like people should adhere to. Now the first one I'd like to talk about is, for instance, during your interview, I mean, after you have sourced for these jobs and you source for these jobs and you finally hit that one yes, and then you get shortlisted for an interview, okay, the first thing I'm going to say, which might not sound important to some people but is actually very important, is that you should never, you know, when you get to the point where your interviewer asks you questions and then you're replying, and you get to the end of the interview stage and they ask you, do you have any questions for us? Do not ever say no, guys. Don't ever say no when you're asked that question, because in as much as your interviewer has been asking you questions, they see it as an avenue for them to get to know you while you're getting to know them. So they give you this opportunity to ask a lot of questions, anything that you feel, you know, you're not sure of, any uncertainties, anything you'd like to know about them. You know, this is an opportunity for them to see how assertive you are, because most times when they ask you these interviews, if people, I don't know how many people have had interviews here, but when you have interviews with these people, they're not really trying to test your knowledge. Yes, they are, but it's not totally what they're trying to do. They're trying to get to know the kind of person you are. If you're a very outspoken person, if you are assertive, and a lot of other good factors. It's more a behavioral question that you are asked during these interviews. You hardly get people that ask you to define the heart or define the cervix, or you know, all those kind of questions. You're asked behavioral questions like, what would you do if something like this happens, or what action will you take if something like this happens? Those are kind of questions that you're asked in these interviews, okay? So when they ask you if you have other questions for us, don't say no, I don't have any questions, because you are scared of what they will think about you. Now I'm not saying you go and start asking, oh, what is the salary range, or what am I getting for salary, or whatever. There are many other beautiful questions to ask. Now for instance, oh, what are the opportunities that you guys have for career development, or what are the opportunities or career advancement opportunities that the organization provides? Those are the kind of questions that you can ask. Intellectual questions that make them know that, okay, this person knows what they are doing, or this person has big plans, or this person has big future plans as well, okay? So this is one most important thing, because it doesn't make sense that you are trying to get these jobs, you're applying and applying and applying, at the end of the day you get these jobs and then you mess it up during your interview, and then you don't even hear from them, or you get an email saying, oh, well, sorry, but unfortunately you didn't scale through to the next part of this recruitment process, okay? We don't want that, right? The second one that I want to share, please, during your application process, don't avoid that temptation of using different details. You see where your CV has a different information, and then something else has a different address on it, or something else has a different address on it. I know that sometimes we get to move from one place to the other, or change locations or something, but please, as much as possible, make sure most of your documents, if not all, have the same type of information. Let's not be that one is saying you are this and then the other one is saying you are that. And this also goes to your social media platform, guys. Very, very, very important. Very important, guys. You cannot put in your CV that you are, or you worked as a healthcare assistant in so and so hospital, and then when someone goes to your social media platform, like your LinkedIn, for those of us that have LinkedIn, or they go to your Facebook profile, they are saying that you are a musician, or that you are something else, or that you're working as a general cleaner at a particular place. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And that's what some of us don't know. Some of us don't know that these people go extra length. Your employers or future employers, they go extra length to verify your identity, to verify if the information you're giving them are actually very correct. So we make these mistakes and we don't know what we're doing, and we just go ahead and do reckless applications. And then you find out, you ask yourself, why don't I get feedback from these people, or why do I always get, unfortunately, aside from the thousands of reasons that there could be, these are things that we overlook that can actually put you in trouble, and that can actually degrade you where these employers are, and that can destroy your credibility. If you are saying now that you are a care assistant, or you work as a care assistant in this hospital, make sure when we go to your social media platforms, because that's another way people get to know you. When they hear your name, most times the first thing we go to do is to open our phones and start checking people's Instagram, start checking their Facebook. We're looking for information or what we can get from them. Okay, so make sure that whatever information that you have on your LinkedIn is tallying with what is on your Facebook, is tallying with what is on your CV as well, or any other documents that you're presenting, please. Because once there's any disparity, you become a total no to these people. Okay, so that's the second thing that I want to say. The third one is, if you manage to scale through looking for a job, and you manage to scale through the interview, you get the interview, they give you a COS, a certificate of sponsorship, and you are applying for your visa, please do not lie as much as possible. Okay, it's similar to what I just said from the second point. Please do not lie. I recently heard of a story of someone made a visa application after going through all the stress to apply for these jobs, made a visa application, and she got denied on the basis of giving false information. So I think she applied for a care assistant position or so, I'm not sure, and then told them that she brought a reference. Okay, so this is another thing. Don't put irrelevant documents, don't upload irrelevant documents when you are applying for your visa. Okay, there are things that there are criteria that they ask you for. There's a checklist of things you're supposed to put under each column, and I don't think there's any place that says provide a reference for your visa application. So this person went to provide the visa application reference, and now the Home Office called this so-called reference, or tried to get in contact with the workplace the person said they were working at, and found out that they were not working as a care assistant in this organization, but they were working as, I think, the general cleaner or something. You have literally ruined that job opportunity that you have, and you have ruined whatever future plans you have to relocate to the UK. You might just be lucky by the grace of God, but trust me, they're going to keep an eye on you now, and it's not going to be that easy, because everybody now knows that, okay, this is what you're doing. Okay, so I'm not saying don't lie when you're putting up documents, but at the same time, let's be careful. Don't go and don't be too forward. Okay, whatever they didn't ask you for, don't put it. You don't need to put it if they didn't ask you for anything, because why are you putting the reference in your visa application? I don't recall anywhere that says put a reference for your visa application. So please, let's always try to be careful. Let's not be too forward, and let's also be very intentional and careful with whatever information that we are using, because honestly, I know that for some of us, where we are coming from, they don't really investigate some of these things. Whenever you give information, they might just take it like that. But as long as you're trying to look out of the country, especially the UK, they are very thorough with whatever they are doing. So if you're giving any information whatsoever, be sure to know that they will always clarify one way or the other. So guys, let's just be careful. So these are the three warnings I said to come share with you guys today, so you guys will know. Please, if you come across this video and it does not apply to you, maybe you're not trying to relocate, share this video to anyone trying to relocate. It could be the UK, it could be anywhere actually. So share this video to them, because they could learn one or two things that would help them. Because imagine someone now that has been denied this visa and has probably sold so many of their properties because, oh, I've gotten my COS, and anybody that knows that when you get your COS, you're almost on your way to get to the UK. So probably have lent money from so many people trying to do one or two things. It could be anything. I don't know what this person has gone through, but we tend to do a lot of things when we are trying to relocate, in terms of borrowing money or selling off things or whatever, and then you get denied because of that could have been averted. So please guys, let's be very careful. It's not enough to just be applying for jobs. I've shared tips on this channel to help you apply for jobs, or things that I feel like you're doing wrong with your applications. If you've not seen the video, please see it. I'm going to link it up here. But aside from that, let's also hit these ones because they're very, very, very important. Now, my lovely people, if you've enjoyed this video and you feel like this has been useful to you, please like the video, share to your friends, family, relatives, enemies, anybody, and also subscribe. As you're subscribing, you're helping me, you're supporting me as well. Okay, so please support me by subscribing if you've not subscribed, and also turn on the post notification bell so that when I put up any other new important, wonderful, sweet content, you'll be the first person to know. Until my next video, you guys just stay awesome and stay lovely. I love you all. Mwah!